Don't fuck up. Don't fuck yourself. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I'm your host, John Hauser III. And with me, with his very sincere background, is
Evan the Mayor.
His background is a picture of Baltimore with a reflection of Baltimore in the water. I don't think that's a real photo. I think it's probably doctored, but it's nice looking.
I was going to say, if it's not a Photoshop, then it is a wonderful photographer.
Yeah.
For.
It's also backwards, right? It should be flipped the other way.
No, it's right. It's correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess so.
The left is the old Legg
yeah.
Mason Tower, Transamerica Tower, and then to the right is the aquarium and the stuff.
It's the one with the pointy.
Wait, the thing on the right.
The one on the right should be on the left, right?
That's really weird.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. Because that's weird. They've moved those buildings.
Quick, do a street view. There's got to be something.
Okay. I gotta look up Baltimore skyline.
Well,
I've only lived here for 40-some years.
Because there's the World Trade Center. What is to the right then? Because that looks like the Deutsche Bank building, but it's not. Who cares?
Call me? No, it's correct.
Okay.
It's correct.
Which building is that?
I don't know.
Hot Zoom background talk.
How you doing? What's been going on?
Nothing much. Just like hobbling around on my foot and going to the doctor for it tomorrow. And I've been cooking very, very basic food and or ordering carry out or delivery. I haven't been to any restaurants. We haven't done shit. You know.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I've been cooking, but as I was saying to you before we started recording, I was like, I can't remember most of the things that I cooked. So it doesn't, like, if I really got to think about it, then it wasn't anything that was like spectacular. Although last night I will say I made like a shawarma bowl that was pretty fucking awesome. You know, it was just rice and, you know, marinated chicken thighs and lettuce, tomato, and then white sauce, and then red sauce.
Love a good shawarma. I made a Thai curry out of a bottle chicken thigh rice bowl, and it was actually really tasty.
Nice.
From Trader Joe's.
I've been trying to do things that don't take me 2.5 hours to make on a Tuesday night. Like I'm just too tired after you go to work and at the gym, and then you come home and then you're like, the last thing I want to do is cook for 2 hours, which I normally wind up doing anyway. But like, I'm just trying to keep it simple, stupid kind of stuff.
Sure.
And it's sort of an antithesis of what I prefer to eat, but I'd rather sit on the couch and hang out with my family than,
slave away in the kitchen.
Yeah, kind of. Because most of the time you're just like, well, it's not that it's not appreciated, but it's, sort of taken for granted. And I'm just like, I'll just make the fancy stuff on the weekends. Yeah. I'm just like, well, I don't care. Let's just do the thing and let's just eat the food. But like, sheet pan salmon with green beans, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Which is fucking great. Like
a single pan meal or a single pot meal, always a delight.
Yeah. I did go to Crabtown, USA last weekend.
Nice.
Which is one of my favorite places in the world. It was my mother's birthday, and she was like, well, I think we should go to Crabtown just, so Crosby have stuff to do. And I'm like, and me too.
Sure.
Yes, for Crosby. And she was like, because otherwise, we could just go to Outback. And I was like, yeah, let's go to Crabtown.
We'll go to Crabtown.
When I dropped her off at the end of the night, I was like, by the way, there's no fucking way we were going to fucking Outback. I'd have taken you to a real steakhouse. And she was like, in Glen Burnie? And I was like, touche.
Bonefish, yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, Texas Roadhouse is right down the street.
The good stuff.
And no offense to anybody who goes to those places. Like, I'm just saying, I don't eat at those places. So, No, I just don't prefer their food.
Sure.
And we got crabs and shrimp, and my wife and my son. Well, my son wanted a bowl of half and half. It's one of his favorite things. So it's half Maryland crab soup, half cream of crab soup for use out there that aren't in the Baltimore area. I don't know why I sound like I was from fucking Chicago, but whatever. From the Baltimore area, it's half Maryland crab, which is basically like a tomato-based soup, and then cream crab, which is creamy. And he got it, and it was okay. And my wife ate 3/4 of it, and then he had to order another bowl. But they're both, well, he loved it. She was just like, oh, this isn't great. So after we got done with the crabs, which were actually pretty expensive for mediums, I guess. I can't tell anymore with the price of crab. It was for a dozen, it was $110.
I was going to say either 80 to 110.
Yeah. But they were super full, and I think we ate, between me, my mother, and my wife, they must have given us 13 because we ate 6 and there were 7 left.
Bullshit.
So, what do you call bullshit on? The fact that we only ate 6?
No, the
7?
Price of crabs in general.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely just not worth it, and it's part of the reason I hardly ever eat them anymore.
Oh no, I mean I eat them probably now 3 times a year.
I'm once a year tops, if that. Yeah. I don't even think I ate them last year.
We ate them twice last year, and that was it.
I don't understand those people that live out in Essex and they're like, I have to have them every weekend during the summer. It's like, good God, no.
Yeah, and what are you crabbing them yourself, or
I mean, if you are, then more power, absolutely. But
yeah,
for me, no thanks.
Or you just going to fucking
Sea Captain.
What is it?
Sea King.
Bill's Terrace,
wherever. What was the place where the guy was racist and they protested him for like a million years?
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Oh, God, whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know.
That fucking guy. What a piece of shit. But yeah, so we had all these crabs left over, and I was like, you know what? I'll just make half and half. And my wife was like, why are you going to make 2 soups? And I was like, I don't need to make 2 soups.
Too many soups.
I'll just make Maryland crab and then throw some velouté in there, which if you're not familiar with velouté, is if you take a roux and then like a real basic velouté. It's a roux with milk, thicken it out, add some salt, boom. You got it like a cream sauce. It's just a regular, and then you add that into the tomato based stuff, and you're good. And I did it, and it was really good. And I made 8,000 gallons of it. I was like, holy shit, I got so much. Froze 2 fucking quarts of it. Still got a ton. Crosby's been loving it and taking it to school all week, which is really weird. Like I can't, it's just kind of weird for a kid to take cream of crab soup to school, but
it's very fancy.
Yeah. But yeah, it took me almost 3 hours to make the soup, only because picking those fucking crabs took me forever. And I was being like really, really like stingy with the crabs. So like even the legs, I'm like taking a rolling pin and, pushing out the like the spindly legs.
Mm-hmm, sure.
That kind of shit. So I was being really meticulous to try to get as much as I could. And I got it, a little more than a pound, I'd say. Not too bad. So it was successful. It worked. It was yummy. I was happy.
Yummy.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we get into some food news?
No. I think I want to tease the upcoming food topic. In the next few episodes is food and video games. Food and video games. Video game foods. Food games.
Yeah, we were talking about that today. I like the idea, and not next episode, but the episode in 3 weeks, it'll be that.
That's more than enough time for me to write some stuff down. I am an expert at video games.
Oh, Jesus.
It's one of my wheelhouses.
Yeah, sorry for not having an episode last week. Comcast is a dick. They decided to brick my modem and I didn't realize it until I was just about to record, and it was just a thing. So I had to go buy a modem. And
there were these two people coming up and down my block yesterday from Verizon peddling Verizon 5G, and I was like, well, you're doing the Lord's work, but I already have a internet provider that I like, and in one T-Mobile. But I watched them sign up 2 people for a trial on my block. So I'm like, fuck yeah, goodbye Comcast. You suck my doo-doo.
Verizon has, what is their, I think my mother has Verizon. What is their,
either
it's not
Fios,
like Xfinity. It's Fios. Yeah,
they have Fios, but there's the wireless, the 5G crap. And now because Comcast is like, oh, we're going to get our dicks kicked into the dirt by all this like 5G wireless stuff. So we're going to debut 10G,
which is fake. It's not even like a real thing.
Completely fake.
Right?
It's like, oh, you heard about this 5G? We're going to double it.
I have been hearing commercials for 6G, and I was like, is that even a real thing yet?
Yeah, we
like,
just rolled out 5G, and I'm like, all right, come on, let's get everyone the 5G before we start talking about 6.
Well, you know that 5G, it makes everybody gay.
Yeah, it also, I mean, and we all got it with our vaccines from Bill Gates.
We got microchipped with the 5G.
But the promises of 5G were basically like it's fiber optic, but in the air. And I have not noticed that, but I've never had a complaint to utter about my internet service for $50 a month. Taxes and fees included.
I will say now that I got a new modem, my, everything down here is wireless. It's much, much quicker, like crazy fast. I'm like, holy shit. So when I borrow things from the internet, the download time's really, really, really quick.
Yeah, Comcast is like the abusive spouse that like once the the love interest starts to look elsewhere, they're like, no, baby, here's a nice car.
Yeah. Totally. I love though that they're like, you're not living up to your potential, so we just bricked your modem. It's like,
yeah.
Well,
perhaps we could interest you in this bundle.
Yeah. I'm not renting your fucking modem for $15 a month.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah, it's crazy because after a year, you've pretty much bought 2 modems.
I do remember, back when...
Welcome to Modem Talk, everybody.
Right, hot modem chat. My parents had one of those surfboard modems that Comcast was, quote, leasing to them for $6 a month. And I'm like, they're $65. You can just buy one. It's fine.
Yeah.
But now the new ones they have are like the size of a mini fridge, and they have
they're
like
huge.
They have like phone built in and all this other fiber optic nonsense. And I'm just like, oh, Comcast.
Yeah, it's crazy because I actually pay for phone through Comcast, and I haven't had a phone in this house for honestly 15, 20 years.
Oh yeah, fuck a landline.
As soon as I got a cell phone, we unplugged the phone. Like, because we never got real calls anyway.
When I bought my old house, I went out back and just cut off all of the cables connecting to the house. I was like,
but nope. What's funny though is I gotta pay for phone because it's in the bundle and it actually makes my bill lower, which is fucking stupid. Oh God. The things I do to get this podcast out, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking dealing with Comcast. Okay. Let's get into some food news.
News.
Pop-Tarts is launching its new flavor with Grandma Sweaters.
That is a brand, I'm assuming?
No, it's Pop-Tarts. No, Grandma Sweaters is like they're making Grandma Sweaters.
Oh, like the
physical sweaters with Pop-Tarts on them.
Oh. Okay, I thought this... You confused me.
Grandma Sweaters does sound like a band.
Yeah, like Grandma Sweaters was some hipster food line, and they're like, we're teaming up with Grandma Sweaters to make these Pop-Tarts that
we're going to do a pop-up collab with Grandma Sweaters.
Right. So these are just cable knit sweaters with Pop-Tarts on them?
Yeah, so on Wednesday, Pop-Tarts announced its latest flavor, Frosted Banana Bread Pop-Tarts, which its website describes as, quote, great balance of banana flavor and spices to mimic the flavor of banana bread, unquote. I'm sure it doesn't taste like fucking yellow runts. The new flavor is expected to hit shelves later this month and will be available nationwide in an 8-count box for a suggested retail price of $3.89. Still too much for junky fucking pieces of shit Pop-Tarts. I hate Pop-Tarts. But everybody's excited for this weird cardigan.
Is everyone excited for it?
Yes. The people at Pop-Tarts are. Created by crochet artisan London K. The granny square crochet pattern was inspired by Pop-Tarts' well-known rectangular shape and those crispy brown colors that come with them. But if you want one, you need to act quickly. There's only 60 of these hand-knitted sweaters that'll be available for purchase for $45. They're probably already sold out.
You too can pay $45.
Do you want to see
a
this
walking advertisement for Pop-Tarts?
Well, nobody would ever know. They would think you were a crazy person. Let me show you what this piece of shit looks like.
Okay. Yep, that's ugly. That is a very, very bad looking sweater.
The crazy part is like, okay, there's a pink one.
Yeah.
So okay, the sweater's tan. It's got brown lining to make
the overwhelming majority of this design is beige or brown.
Yes,
with very small amounts of color.
Exactly.
It's as if somebody took a bunch of Pop-Tarts and made an AIDS quilt out of it, and then cut it up and made it into a sweater.
So right now we're looking at the front of the sweater with the arms. Altogether, we're looking at 22 Pop-Tarts. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them have color, and
the rest are brown.
And the rest are just basically tan. And even some of them just have like smidges of color. Like there's a blue one with a squirt. There's a pink frosted one with berries on it. And then there's some that look like they got a little bit of funfetti on it.
This isn't even a fun sweater, like a bad and ugly, fun, ironic sweater. All. It's just fucking bad looking.
Like, yeah. Like somebody's like,
but look at all those hipsters having a good time wearing their
eating
shitty
their
sweaters
Pop-Tarts.
and eating Pop-Tarts. God.
Yeah. So London K, good for you for...
What is wrong with you, foodandwine.com? Why do you give these people attention?
So the thing is, though, like, good on London K for making the ugliest sweater known to man and probably getting paid a mint for it.
Well, for 60 sweaters times $45, that's what, $600 or something.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure they paid the artist.
Well, they had to have paid them more than that, so they're not making money off these sweaters. Not that they need to. This is just a PR stunt.
Let me look up crochet artist London K. Okay, they have a website.
There is a...
Oh, they do like remember when people would do like crochet bombs?
Sure, yeah.
And wrap like light poles and shit with them.
There was a famous sweater maker person who made these like really campy, awful sweaters back in the 80s and had these catalogs of the designs. He gave many of them to Princess Di, and she actually like wore them out. And the catalog has one of the Ab Fab ladies in it. It is so funny because it's not ironic. It's just very campy and weird and interesting. There's a lot of very odd designs in it, and I cannot remember the name of it. But
okay, so this person is very like basically not really selling a lot of knitted products. There's yarn, and you can get her patented crochet hooks and digital patterns. Okay, more just yarn. But then, okay, she's like crocheting girls with masks onto fences. Oh, you can buy some bucket hats. Okay, great. That was cool in 1992. Oh, and here, her new collection is handmade crochet bags inspired by the iconic Notorious B.I.G. sweater. You mean a Coogee sweater? Like the brand Coogee that you're stealing their fucking patterns from, basically? Like, does she not know what a Coogee sweater is? Clearly not. Like, look at this. Like, you know what that sweat? You know that's a Coogee sweater, right?
Sure, yeah. Yes.
That's.
I've seen that also in hat design.
Couldn't someone get a little litigious if they wanted? Where you're just like, it's inspired by this
Notorious
iconic
B.I.G.
Yeah. Well, hey, guess what? He didn't make that fucking sweater, lady. Let me tell you. Like, you're basically like when people when people think of that sweater, there's only two people that wore those sweaters that like made them famous. It was him and Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby wore those Coogee sweaters all the time.
Right.
Which I don't know if you know about Bill Cosby, lady. not a fashion.
Hey, remember
icon.
when I used to have a Cosby sweater bar crawl?
No,
You don't.
I never went to it. I remember them being a thing.
Yeah, we did it like twice, and then the third time we were gonna do it, it was when that whole thing happened.
Oh no! What would you call it now? You can call it a Notorious B.I.G. sweater crawl.
Yeah, I guess we could. What? No, we in 2013 we renamed it at the last second to like Wacky Sweater Bar Crawl.
That's fun. A
Yeah.
wacky sweater is always good. I love a wacky sweater. I love sweaters. It's probably my favorite piece of clothing besides underwear. Well, knitted underwear is probably my favorite. Well, knitted underwear with the dick and balls knitted into them. Have you ever seen those?
Yes.
They look really uncomfortable. Anyway, yeah, this shit's crazy, and this stuff has to stop. Pop-Tarts, you're bad. And okay, let's get a opinion from you. What do you think about Pop-Tarts?
Well, actually, I was going to ask you. I mean, obviously, Pop-Tarts are gross, but what about toaster strudel?
They're gross but edible.
Right. But
They're greasy.
except
That's all I remember.
Yes, they
from
are.
them.
They are very like buttery or whatever. Fake.
I think
butter.
I've had toaster strudel once in my life, and it was in 1991.
But considering we all agree that Pop-Tarts are nasty, what is your favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
Strawberry. That's the only answer.
I'm fine with that. I don't mind the cinnamon sugar ones. I think when you start getting into the upper echelons of the zaniest of flavor, like fudge, like s'mores, I don't know, just like the ones that are full of this weird glop that isn't even close to like a natural flavor.
Yeah, the last time I had a Pop-Tart, I think I was in college, and I threw it against the wall. I was so mad at how it tasted.
Yeah, it basically should just be like strawberry, blueberry, cinnamon sugar, apple cinnamon.
So let's see here. What
That's
do we
it.
got? We got
Yeah, let's make a rundown.
frosted
Power
blueberry, frosted blueberry,
rank. Okay.
brown sugar cinnamon,
Yep.
cherry,
Mm-hmm.
chocolate,
Uh,
chocolate fudge pop
Ugh.
tarts,
no.
confetti cupcake,
Nope.
cookies and cream,
No.
grape.
What?
Yeah, grape.
Gross.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I want a piping hot grape Pop-Tart.
Yeah, it's not even grape jelly. It's just grape.
Grape.
Hot fudge,
No.
frosted maple. Damn, they got a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot.
Raspberry.
Raspberry. Okay.
S'mores.
No.
The aforementioned strawberry.
Yes.
Wildlicious wild berry.
No.
Simply strawberry. That looks like it's a sort of a crunchy version.
Okay.
Okay. Simply frosted harvest strawberry Pop-Tarts are soft toaster pastries with the flavor of strawberry and the delicious frosting with crunchy sprinkles. These toaster pastries are a fun part of any balanced breakfast.
No, they're not. No. It's a dessert. It's just a dessert.
Any balanced breakfast at home or on the go. Plus, have no high fructose corn syrup and are non-GMO. So that's what it is. Okay.
Non-GMO.
They're only available at Costco, by the way. Snickerdoodle.
Nope.
Unfrosted blueberry. Oh God, they're unfrosted. How could you make them worse?
You could like, I don't know, kind of put your own topping on it or something. I have no idea.
Unfrosted blueberry, unfrosted brown sugar, and unfrosted strawberry. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm sure there are more that are like limited edition, air quote.
Yeah, there's banana bread and apple cinnamon.
Okay. Why is that limited?
And then limited time. Hold on. Where they don't have they don't have any. Check back for more limited time.
We're out of ideas
this spring
at the moment.
Oh, that's fucked up. Like you gotta like okay. Yeah, that stinks. You guys suck. And then there's Pop-Tarts Bites. Let's not get into that.
Nope.
Anyway. Yeah, I there's a restaurant near me that I know makes their own. And I've heard that's really good because they actually put like more than 5 microns of flavoring inside the pastry.
Right.
So because that's really all anybody really wants. Just deconstruct it and have like a little ramekin of jelly or whatever that jam is, and then some sort of crispy thing that you can just dip in it.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, the ratio is always off on those things.
Plus the edges, it's about a half an inch of just pastry that is flavorless and gross, and you always end up like cutting off the outer edges of it anyway and throwing them in the garbage where they belong.
It's like eating a mummy.
Kind of, yeah, on the outside. And then once you get to the sweetness, you're like, oh, well, that's pleasant. But I want more filling, but what I don't want is for it to like glorp out when you bite into it, you know?
Yeah, or if you overheat it, it's like napalm.
Yeah.
You're on call, Pop-Tarts. You're bad.
You're on notice.
Yeah, you're on notice. You're go sit in the corner. Okay, I had posted this on the Rude Facebook page, but I actually started to read the article and it's really weird. So scientists have made a mammoth meatball.
You mean a big meatball?
No, a meatball made out of mammoth meat.
Okay.
So in late 2021,
thank God we have the technology for this.
Yeah, this is gross. It's really scary, actually. This kind of stuff really freaks me out. In late 2021, a biotech startup called Colossal announced its Okay, so remember that name, Colossal. It will be up there with the Umbrella Corporation one day, I have a feeling. Right. Announced its ambitious plan to try to resurrect the massive mammals.
Okay.
The mammoth, the woolly mammoth.
What could possibly go wrong?
And just this week, an Australian cultivated meat company debuted an oversized mammoth meatball at the museum in the Netherlands.
And they printed it in a lab, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. George Pepeux. P-E-P-P-O-U. Pepeux. Georges Pepeux, the founder of Val, said that it was, quote, no small undertaking, unquote, to try to create an Ice Age era appetizer. In a blog post, he explained that the process started by identifying the gene sequence involved in the mammoth's myoglobin, which is the protein found in the muscle cells. Quote, when it comes to meat, myoglobin is responsible for the aroma, the color, and the taste, unquote. James Rial, Johnny Rial's friend, his dad, Val's chief scientific officer, told Reuters. He compared the process to the movie Jurassic Park, and that film definitely wasn't a cautionary tale at all, right?
Nope.
That's exactly what you want people to know. Like, oh, it's just like that movie. Remember when they just made these clones and everything worked out? It was really good. To fill in the number of gaps of the genetic code, they swapped in the gene sequences from the African elephant. That mammoth gene was then implanted in stem cells from sheep, and the meatball was grown from there.
It's like a turducken ball.
Oh yeah, it's really gross. Like it's so weird.
It's like that scene from Alien Resurrection where Ripley is like, "Kill me," and the meatball is like,
"Yeah,
kill me."
It sort of reminds me, like in my brain, they kind of put all this weird meat together, and then all this other meat squirted out of it, like that scene in Poltergeist where the steak kind of opens up, and then all this stuff comes out of the steak.
Yeah, this is not mammoth. It's basically like, well, it's sheep stem cells, but also it's elephant, but also it's myoglobin from a mammoth. And
what we thought of, mammoth myoglobin.
So it's 1/100th mammoth because myoglobin isn't the only fucking thing in, a meatball. There's a lot going on. This is garbage. I don't like it.
So it's funny because there was another guy from the Australian Institute of Bioengineering and Nanotechnology at the University of Queensland told The Guardian that Val's original plan was to create lab-grown dodo meat, but that the long-gone bird's genetic information isn't available.
Right.
Well, because this is how they get funding, probably, right?
But why focus on the meat and not, like, I don't know, the creature?
Well, because
since we don't have enough dodo meat, we're going to lab 3D print a dodo meat because we can't get like an entire dodo.
Isn't it weird that they don't have enough genetic material from a dodo?
Yeah, you would think there'd be like a feather somewhere in a museum somewhere.
They have mammoth meat, which died like millions of years ago, right?
Well, there are like preserved mammoth eye in the
right
icebergs.
in the ice and shit. Yeah, I get it. I guess all the dodo stuff is just rotted because it's on a
dodos aren't prehistoric. They were all murdered by humans because they weren't.
But I'm saying like
afraid of people.
Wouldn't you think somebody'd have like a fucking dodo skeleton in their closet or something like that?
Something.
Like their great uncle Phineas had fucking, collected a bunch of them.
He's got one in his freezer.
Made a chair out of a bunch of them or something.
It's been passed on from generation to generation in my freezer.
You are now the keeper of fucking
the dodo
Cornelius
corpse and
the dodo.
many dead cats.
Yeah. So they're not just interested in creating prehistoric snacks. The whole mammoth thing just serves to highlight the possibilities of cultured meat. The company has already looked into producing quote unquote meat from over 50 different species. It has already sought regulatory approval in Australia and has begun cultivating quail products. This shit is terrifying, and unregulated, there will be a really big problem.
I don't think it's terrifying. I think it's just completely undoable in terms of.
But something weird's going to come out of it and really fuck up everybody.
Nothing living or sentient's going to come out of it. You're just going to have a plate of gross-looking crap.
But I think, like, somebody's going to eat this shit and then like poop, and then that poop's going to get into the like water or something, and then all of a sudden someone's going to get sick from it, and then we can't fix it, and then everybody dies.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So the 3D printed meat will somehow become a virus in the wastewater stream.
Yes, that's how this happens.
Yeah.
When you play God, this is what happens.
The mammoth myoglobin DNA gets into you and you become a rampaging mammoth-like creature.
Yeah, it's going to be like Swamp Thing except mammoth.
Mammoth thing.
But then there's the meatball that they made. So nobody's eating it. So they said we haven't
could not
seen
convince anyone to eat this.
So no one knows how it tastes because, quote, we haven't seen this protein for thousands of years.
Oh, please.
Professor Wolverton said, he's the guy that I talked about earlier. So we have no idea how our immune system would react when we eat it.
That is such a fucking stupid thing to say. It is no different than myoglobin is myoglobin is myoglobin.
I would think so.
It's pretty much the same as like a cow's myoglobin or another elephant's myoglobin. It's not appreciably different. And you could have an allergic reaction to it, I guess. There are people that are allergic to that kind of thing. But yeah, it's not like any person's going to walk along and be like, whoa, look at this little meatball. No!
Okay, so here's the weirdest sentence in this whole thing. The meatball was baked. And while it was being hand finished with a blowtorch, the smell was described as being close to cooked. What kind of meat do you think it would smell like?
Between lamb or sheep and elephant and probably like human. I don't know.
Someone described it as smelling like cooked crocodile meat.
Crocodile. Okay.
Yes, of course. Let's add another thing into the mix. And also, how do you exactly know what cooked crocodile meat?
Well, they're Australian. Like? Come on.
Oh, yeah, I guess so, right? Oh, shit. Is that a thing?
Crocodile? Yeah.
Like I don't want to be like Crocodile Dundee all up in this bitch, but like, do Australians eat crocodile? I have eaten gator. I've not eaten crocodile. Is crocodile a normal thing in Australia?
Probably. I mean, I've never heard of it being. Yeah. It's not like, hey, Outback Steakhouse, we also have crocodile.
Yeah. So they're saying it's super fascinating to think that adding a protein from an animal that went extinct 4,000 years ago gave it a totally unique and new aroma, something that we haven't smelled in the population for a long time.
It's not because of the mammoth stuff. It's because you mixed a bunch of other animal shit together.
It's animal slurry.
Right.
Yeah.
Little Lisa's Slurry Factory is what they made.
All right, that's a weird one. Okay, I have good news for you. I have very good news. I don't know if you know this.
I need it.
KFC's adding nuggets to its menu.
Oh, I thought that we were going to talk about the fake nuggets that are only available in Germany. But
which ones?
The fake nuggets, Beyond Meat chicken nuggets.
Oh no.
Yeah, we talked about it on this podcast.
No, I remember. But what did you want to talk about them? Do you think I had an update?
I thought you were
going
to tell me the good news is that
they're coming to America.
The fake nuggets are coming across the ocean.
Oh, give it a couple months. It'll probably pop up around, I don't know.
I heard
by fall.
When it comes to a chicken nugget, I'm so used to eating just nugget foods that it to me doesn't matter if it's not a chicken or whatever. I'm
Crocodile.
like, as long as I can dip it in a tasty dipping sauce, I'm fine.
I have had alligator nuggets, and
they're
good.
fine.
Yeah.
They're okay.
They're kind of like fishy chicken. It's kind of like frog.
Yeah. Yep.
Although I like frog better.
A little stringy.
Yeah.
Tell me about these nuggets.
So after a short-lived test run last year, Kentucky Fried Chicken Nuggets will officially be on the menu at KFC restaurants across America starting last week, March 27th. It'll be 100% white meat and then breaded with those 11 herbs and spices. They look very craggly and mainly like there's a lot of breading on them, which honestly is the best. Yeah, they look crispy too.
They better be.
So, yeah, there you go. That's I'm not gonna get into the rest of this because fuck them. But they got the double down out again, and people seem excited about that. Which the double down's the OG of the dumb food wars. Like they put that shit out. Christ, how long ago was that? That was probably like 15 years ago.
Yeah, at least.
Because I remember when that came out, I was just like, wow.
Well, remember when they did air quote naked chicken and it was just skinless chicken?
Oh, yeah. And
it's
people,
like, all right.
Yeah, people fall for stuff. It's smart. But yeah, I like KFC flavors. So yeah, why not?
Have you ever had a famous bowl?
I have not, no.
Why is
a failure pile and a sadness bowl?
Why is it famous? What makes it so famous?
I don't know. I'm quoting Patton Oswalt, by the way, who has a famous, when they came out, he's got a really famous comedic section in his Werewolves and Lollipops album, I think.
Okay.
Where he calls it a failure pile and a sadness bowl. It's really
nice.
Funny. But yeah, it's mashed potatoes and corn and chicken, right? Like,
and gravy.
And gravy. Yeah. I mean, it's,
it's shepherd's pie, but disgusting.
For when you want to give up, I don't know, like just
dignity.
What's that?
I said dignity.
Yeah. When you just want to give up everything, you just want to give up on life and just have someone make you one of those. I don't know. When we get if, we order KFC here like maybe once a year, twice a year at the most, maybe. Mm-hmm. And, you get a bucket of chicken and all the goofy shit with sides and stuff. Their biscuits are galactically bad, by the way. You would think their biscuits would be better, but they are fucking terrible. And you do all this shit anyway. You make the mashed potatoes and gravy, and then you got all the stuff. It tastes good together. So, sure. Next, MIT researchers perfected twisted apart hundreds of Oreos to find the perfect method.
Okay.
Doing that hard science.
Where do they get the grant money for that one?
Oh, who knows? In 2022, researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT, unveiled their cookie-centric findings in a study titled On Oreology, the Fracture and Flow of Milk's Favorite Cookie, unquote. They named the study. The research, which has recently resurfaced on social media, focused on if and how people would evenly split the cream inside or the creme inside an Oreo when twisting it open.
With a knife.
Do people really do that? Do people really twist open
It is
Oreos?
kind of a game. It's like, oh, can I get 50-50? Can I get one, half of that cream on either side of the wafer?
What do you mean?
Like when you pull when you twist it,
right?
Either the most common outcome is one side of the cookie has nothing on it and the other side has all of the cream.
Right.
And that's how you make a double stuff. But I think what they're, if I'm hearing this correctly, is they're saying, here's how you twist this thing in order to get 50-50 cream. Or am I wrong?
So, okay, here, quote, I was personally motivated by the desire to solve a challenge that had puzzled me as a child. How to open an Oreo and get creme evenly arranged on both wafers.
Right.
Crystal Owens, one of the 3 authors of the study and PhD candidate in mechanical engineering at MIT, shared with Vice in 2022. Quote, I prefer the taste of the cookies with the creme exposed. If I got a bite of the wafer alone and it was too dry for me, and if I dunked it in milk, the wafer would fall apart too fast. Oh my God. These people are fucking maniacs. To find out if and how the creme, they keep spelling it creme. C-R-E with a thing over it.
Creme.
Yeah, creme.
Creme fraiche.
So to find out if it would be split evenly, the team created the Oreometer, a 3D printed apparatus which employs both rubber bands and weighted coins to represent the force of twisting apart. I'm not going into this. Fuck this shit. Stupid fucking God damn it. I read this last night and it made me crazy and I'm not reading it again.
I could see a student doing this as like a lab project, but definitely not like anyone publishing this, even though they published it. I don't know. Like what journal would carry this article? Be like,
you know, like they based it's more deeper. It's deeper than just like twisting a cookie. It's a look at, it's called rheology, which is the science of measurement of deformation, like deforming things. Virtually all materials deform in response to an imposed stress. Everything breaks if you hit it hard enough, kind of thing.
Sure.
And so it's like trying to deal with like a liquid that is soft, but it's a solid, and you know, there's nerdy stuff behind it, but God damn it. Like, it's just kind of frustrating. Like reading all this shit and you're like, oh my God, like someone like for reals was like absolutely like serious about this for like 6 months of their life. And then, you know, got their findings and then probably sold it to the government, which will somehow kill people with it.
Turn it into a nuclear weapon.
Yeah. How can we twist a person apart without opening their body? Right? Like, what's the perfect amount of stress and pressure that we can get to turn a person's body just to snap their lower spine without any juice coming out of them?
Well, but no, it has equal amounts of juice on both sides.
Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh. No. Okay. No thanks. You can download plans for the Oreometer, by the way, if you want. You can go to some MIT website.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
It's probably like that thing that I showed you where it's like a nugget dipping apparatus or something. I sent Evan this I guess it was a nugget dipping apparatus.
This changes everything.
It just was a slot that you dropped a nugget down and it just fell in. It just falls into a ramekin.
I like it.
And
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh God. Cup of Noodles has made an aberration of just terrible proportions against God and man. They've created breakfast flavored ramen. Maple syrup, pancake, and sausage and egg. Yeah. So we're just going to leave. I just wanted to let you guys know that's out there. You can get it at Walmart for $1.18. Have at it, because I'm not going to try it. Ramen with the flavors of maple syrup, pancake, sausage, and egg all at once.
I'm good.
Yeah. I don't know why. That sounds like something my son might get behind. He like, no shit, probably 4 times out of the week I make him, because Leanna will make him pancakes on the weekend. And then in the morning I'll reheat the pancakes and then I'll make him an egg and put the egg on the pancakes, and that grosses me out so much, and he loves it.
Okay.
I can't eat eggs and pancakes together. The sweet and saltiness of it for some reason really grosses me out, even though I like a sweet and salty thing. I don't know. This will make you happy too, because I know how much you hate this.
Prove it.
Uber Eats purges 5,000 virtual brands that are just duplicate restaurant menus off of their website.
Good.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the pandemic brought about a rise in online businesses, quadrupling since 2021.
Virtual dining concepts.
Yes. Now they make up 8% of Uber Eats US-based online storefronts. Out of those, the delivery giant plans to purge around 13%. Apparently, the company has already discovered 14 brands that somehow offer the exact same sandwich.
They do.
It actually originates from a New York deli. 12 random brands were also caught selling a breakfast burrito that belonged to a Colorado sports bar. In addition to duplicate menu items, small businesses try to play the system by creating duplicate menus. Doing so influences the search results, potentially increasing brand visibility. A San Francisco-based Pakistani restaurant even replicated its online menu 20 times.
God.
Sam Brown, a 22-year-old New York City student, shared his experience ordering on Uber Eats with the Wall Street Journal. Quote, "The other day I typed breakfast and literally had like 20 restaurants with the same menu blow up in my face." Unquote. While some hope for a better search result placement, others make separate brands that have the same menu options in order to highlight their offerings. For example, a restaurant with a large menu may create separate brands for their menu subcategories, giving them a new name and product shot. It's understandable considering how hard it is to stand out in a crowded marketplace. So basically what's going on is like if it's like, say, the Double T Diner, which has a menu the size of the King James Bible,
Yeah.
right? They're taking just the sections and creating pop-ups out of each section and giving it its own new name.
Yep.
But everything is being ordered from the one place.
From the Double T Diner. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like you and I know enough about this already, but if the listeners don't, there is a video on YouTube by a guy named Eddie Burback who illustrated this exactly what you're saying by ordering the same sandwich from like 8 different places that came out of the same building in Los Angeles.
Right.
And I think kind of the gist of it was it's deceptive, duh, but also he made a point about Mr. Beast having his Beast Burger, and that was kind of like the first ghost kitchen that went super wide at the beginning of the pandemic, you know, and he's got like hundreds of millions of subscribers, and all of them are ages, 9 to 15, and
right.
They hear, oh my God, Mr. Beast has Beast Burgers, I must order one. And he doesn't have to fucking like do any of the brick and mortar stuff. He just borrows space in like another restaurant's kitchen and says, "Hey, I got my branding, on these bags and stuff like that. Can we borrow some room? Make my shitty little burgers and fries and like have them delivered to children." It's genius. I mean, the dude is smart. His videos are horrible, but
he's a very rich person.
He's mind-numbingly bad.
I can't. I heard him start talking and I had to turn it off. I can't.
He is the living embodiment. It's like he is the Tron of YouTube. He's just like a YouTube human.
Yeah, he's like an SEO made. Yeah,
yeah. He almost speaks like quick cuts. As if somebody edited his speech to sound like a YouTube video, and he's like, "Hey everybody, hey, I'm Mr. Beast, and we're going to do this thing. I'm going to build a thing, and then I'm going to put a bunch of children in it, and the children that can last the longest get $1 million."
Yeah, Crosby watches a YouTuber that does what's that video game? Shit, my brain just went poopy.
Minecraft.
Yes, Minecraft. And hi everybody, it's me, and we're gonna do the thing. And I'm like, oh my God, you're a grown man.
It's awful.
You're like 25 years old with a wife. Like, you don't have to be a teenager anymore.
Well, what's bonkers to me is like people like that will do a live stream. They'll get thousands of people who watch it, and they're like, all right, everybody, give me a super chat. I'll give you a shout out, and I'm gonna donate money to poor kids in Africa, and they'll raise like $40,000. Then, God knows if they give it to the poor kids in Africa. Why is it always poor kids in Africa? Come on, man.
I saw a thing where Mr. Beast gave a woman a car last week.
Okay.
and everyone was mad at him because they were like, you don't know if she can afford that car. How dare you do that? Your privilege is showing. You gave that woman a car. She got paid taxes on that car. And he was like,
oh,
I paid the taxes on that car.
Right.
You don't know. She said she couldn't drive. Now she got to pay to get her driver's license. He's like, I gave her a $15,000 car. And it's like, you can't do anything. It's hilarious. No matter what you do, somebody's
be doing this kind of bullshit where it's like, first of all, the poor kids in Africa shit is so fucked out. And it's also like white saviorism all over the place.
No, without it, it's using your platform to make yourself look like a good guy. And you gave a lady a car and that's great. But like, I don't know. Why don't you just do that without filming it?
Sure. No, because you won't get clicks. I mean,
right.
No. Anyway, enough about that guy. Anyway.
I say as I make my podcast that I want people to listen to.
Hey, but we're not saying like, hey, for every 10 people that listen, we're going to donate 8 steaks to poor people in Chicago.
I don't even have 8 steaks, homie. Here's something that's really weird and gross, kind of. A German company creates the first carbonated powdered beer.
Okay.
According to Interesting Engineering, Klosterbrauerei I can't. It's Kloster.
Okay. All right.
This is all one word.
You're making my brain melt.
Kloster.
Let's just say German guy.
Klosterbrauerei Neusel. There you go. A brewery that's oddly enough located in a German monastery has its eyes set on the future of beer consumption.
Really? Is that the future of beer consumption?
Yeah, their powdered beer doesn't contain... Wait a minute. Their powdered beer doesn't contain alcohol.
How could it? There's no such thing as powdered alcohol.
Is initially brewed like traditional beers before being turned into a powder that dissolves in water.
Ugh.
What?
Just add it to a neutral spirit. Instant beer.
Well, okay.
Here, take this Alka-Seltzer, put it in this glass of vodka.
This product
add the powder.
This product was funded by the country's Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy, along with unnamed partners. Klosterbrauerei Neusel wants to change the beer game by making it easier and cheaper to produce without compromising on quality. So as of now, they plan to test the market with small quantities. Their larger goal is to scale production to expand to alcoholic powdered beers.
What? Okay, so
another
in order
advantage
for that to
it's
work,
lightweight.
You have to conjugate the alcohol with like some sort of other chemical. And then that needs to be dissolvable in a fluid like water. But yeah, what you're then wind up with is a powder that's going to be like weird and sticky. I'm trying to think of like an example that I could compare it to. But yeah, you can't just have like when you try to make powdered alcohol, it evaporates. You have to like latch it onto some other chemical in order for it to become a solid.
So what they're saying is billions of liters of water are transported to consumers worldwide because beer consists of up to 90% water. From an environmental point of view, we are already saving on transport, but not yet on the use of resources and production costs.
But you have to take that water and then use energy to remove the water and have beer powder, right?
Yes.
So you're not really conserving anything on that end.
Well, maybe they're trapping the evaporated water.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's super weird.
It's just an endless cycle of water being used to brew beer powder.
So what they want is a future where you go to the store and you get like the powder and then you take it home and you just add water and then you got beer. It's very, very Jetsons-y, right?
That is super Jetsons-y, yeah.
But they have the young upstart has its work cut out for it. Some of the consumers may be skeptical about the quality of powdered beer. Yeah, no shit.
I mean, I would try it, but
I would try it, but
from an environmental standpoint, I'm like, all right, a keg of beer, which, if you're a household of 3 people, 4 people, a family of 4, it's going to last you quite some time. And then you return the keg. The keg gets reused, and then it gets filled with beer that's brewed on premises or something,
Right.
ideally. You're not really hurting the earth. But, I mean, how much fucking beer are we talking about here?
I think they're just basically talking about like the shipping,
Yeah.
all of the greenhouse gases.
But that ultimately is the argument for local breweries, is that
No, absolutely.
I walk down the street to the Pabst Castle on the corner, which should have been a brewery, but is unfortunately an office building. And I say, give me a pony keg and I will take it home and I will come back to you in 2 months' time and have it, let's be realistic, 3 weeks, and have it refilled.
I want to live in Pabst Castle.
It's pretty cool.
Is it really called Pabst Castle?
It is called Pabst Castle.
Is that where they made Pabst back in the day?
Apparently.
Sweet.
Yeah, they restored the exterior. It's nice and shiny. But yeah, there's like an IT security company in it now.
Of course.
Yeah,
those
it's
guys.
weird.
So yeah, that's it, everybody. That's food news for the week.
I love food news.
In and out in under an hour. Let's do it. Thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. We would love for you to tell your friends about us and share our podcast with them. We don't pay for advertising, and word of mouth is how we get out there.
We don't pay for those 8 steaks either.
No. You got to buy your own steaks. We're not giving you steaks. Evan might give you steaks. I'm not giving you steaks. He might at the City That Breeds podcast, which is his, powdered steak at the City That Breeds podcast. Tell him about your podcast.
Yes, it's ctb.show is the web address. You can find us on all of the platforms for podcasting. City That Breeds podcast. This past week, Casey, Brian, and I just got together in my living room and shot the shit for about an hour and a half. It was very, very fun. It's very
cool.
Very fun to have everyone in the same room. It's just a completely different energy.
An old school CTB episode.
That's correct.
Nice. You can actually hear Brian in good quality then, huh?
Oh boy. Let's not go nuts.
All of a sudden he's like, my microphone technique's like this now.
Burp.
So check them out. Tell your friends about them as well. And thanks for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. We'll be back next week with a new episode that should have been last week, but now will be in the future. So you still get to hear it because I've already researched it and written it out.
Time travel.
What's that?
Time travel.
Yeah. It's in my brain and I need to get it out. We will see you next week, and thanks for listening. Check out our Facebook page. It's a lot of fun. And my name is John Hauser III for the Rude Cooking School podcast. Don't yuck my yum.
And don't fall for ghost kitchens. They're dumb.
Yeah, they're not even full of ghosts. Ghosts aren't even cooking your food. It's bullshit.
Ooh,
I made a burger.
pizza.
Gnocchi, the scariest food. See you, everybody. Peace.
Bye.